Coming to Dr. Kundwala was actually a really long process of seeing my regular doctor, my regular gynecologist. I'd had a hysterectomy about 5 years ago that alleviated some of my frequent urination, but then it seemed to get worse again. I went to my general practitioner who would test me for bladder infections, and there was nothing there. Go to my gynecologist, and last fall she diagnosed me as having a prolapsed bladder and referred me to Dr. Kundwala. So I came to see Dr. Kundwala last December, December of 2016, and he did an exam and said I did not in fact have a prolapsed bladder, which sort of was disappointing because I kind of hoped that that was the problem and that there was a problem that could be fixed. But he did go through, he sat down with me and explained that there are a lot of women who have the same symptoms I do. I was going to the bathroom on average, well, I thought my average was about 15 or 16 times a day, but Dr. Kundwala recommended a study where I would record how much fluid I was drinking, what that fluid was, and how often I was going to the bathroom. And even I was shocked to find that I was going about 20 times a day, including getting up at night 3 or 4 times. It inhibited my sleep. I never really felt rested. It altered even my lifestyle. I travel a lot for work. If a flight was longer than an hour, I had to get up and use the bathroom, and oftentimes even an hour flight, I'd have to make sure I went to the bathroom before it and as soon as I got off the plane. You know, so oftentimes with visiting customers, I would have to ask them to escort me to the bathroom both before and after meetings, and it was embarrassing, you know, not only inhibiting my life where I've got to run and go all the time, but that I would have to let people know, you know, I had to go all the time, and it was embarrassing. You know, my family and my children knew I had to go every time we went out. I couldn't grocery shop without going to the bathroom, and it just became a way of life. And I had hope that Dr. Kundwala could help me, but I didn't have high hopes, to be honest. But he's changed my life. You know, coming to him, he had me do the urine study and said that they had this medication that they use for other purposes, but it seemed to be working for women in my situation. And he put me on a low dose to see if it would help. It was around Christmas time, excuse me, in 2016. And it helped a little. I still had a lot of pain. I was still going to the bathroom frequently, maybe, you know, 15 times a day instead of 20 times a day. And when I saw him in early January, just to touch base on it, he increased my dosage, and after a few days, changed my life. And I wasn't going to the bathroom as often. I was going after about 3 or 4 hours instead of once or twice every hour, and I couldn't believe it. I thought I was maybe making this up in my head, that I wanted a solution, but after a month, after 2 months, I realized I was going maybe every 3 or 4 hours. I wasn't running to the bathroom at home constantly, going out in public constantly. Today, it's been about 8 months since I've been on the medication, and I've actually kind of forgotten what it's like to have to go to the bathroom every 3 or 4 times an hour. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me medically, you know. I mean, I would recommend this to anybody. And you know what's interesting is, as I began to talk to more people about it, more women have this problem than I ever imagined. I thought I was a little unique, and I talk to friends now about it and how this has changed for me. And because they all knew how often I used to go to the bathroom, you know. And when we talk about it, I get more women who talk to me about it and about their problems. And we've all heard, oh, it's because you're getting older. It's because you've had children. It's, you know, there's a list of reasons that women get told for why they have frequent urination. And now I don't believe that those are actually the reasons. I believe it's what Dr. Kundwala said about having the pelvic pain, the bladder pain, and that this medication can help, and it can change your life. It has for me, and I couldn't recommend it more highly.